Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Bootleg Gaming back with a Forza 4 video. Today we're going to be doing Drift Club. It's one of the other story modes in the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys later.
Hello, my name is Robert. Don't need to tell me your name, Joel's done plenty of that. I've gathered a group of like-minded drivers together here at the festival, and I hoped you might help us attract more. We're called Drift Club, you see. We like to... well, you can probably guess. Some like the rush, but I'm rather partial to the engineering, I must say. Why don't you take my old Nissan 240 out and see which you enjoy better? The first thing to do, really, is go into your car's settings and switch off the traction control. Might be a button, or it might need a pair of pliers and a bit of tape, but it must be done. Traction is the natural enemy of drifting. Not bad. But do I need to explain again about power to weight ratios?
So doing the story mode is actually the first time I've drifted in this game since I started playing it. I mean, I used to drift a lot in the motorsports and a little bit in Forza Horizon 3, so like I'm not a horrible drifter, but I'm not the best. So eventually I do get a little better, but I kind of suck right now.
It's a friendly club, no need to make the rest of us look foolish. Them, but we've started adding some flags to bits of road that are really quite good for drifting. A great bit of practice for drift driving.
Well, there you have chapter 1 of the event in the Nissan 240. Let's move on to this next chapter.
We've had a Drift Club meeting and decided to keep score of how our members do on all these routes. Make it a bit of a game, you see. This is the Subaru BRZ for boxer engine, rear wheel drive and the zenith of drifting technology. I'm also quite partial to acronyms. Why don't you take a nice morning drive? And if you want to throw the back end out along the way, that'd be alright with me. The rubber's warm, let's keep going, shall we?
400 yards. Turn left.
Crikey! Show me that again, whatever you just did. Nicely done. Now, we'll keep your score on the Drift Club ladder for eager new drivers to try and beat. I'd prefer they didn't, but you know how they get. This computer games are made.
Well, there's chapter 2 in the Subaru BRZ, or BRZ, whatever the hell that game likes to call it. I call it a BRZ because BRZ sounds stupid. But anyway, let's move on to the next chapter.
Trying to get it how I want it. Now they want me back, but you know that I be running to another level. Running. I won't ever settle. Running. I'ma go and get.
Good news. Drift Club membership is climbing steadily thanks to you. As soon as I get the membership cards and name badges ready, you'll be the first to know. I'd like us to be known as an inclusive club. You don't need a Japanese performance machine to throw around. An American performance machine will do very nicely too. This route is quite lengthy, so
This thing's a boat, so
as well as sideways.
it sucks at drifting. So I don't do that great, but let's keep watching.
Yards, turn sharp right. Turn sharp right.
force equals mass times acceleration minus friction. Drifting is all mathematics, you see. I do like mathematics. Though, you might say it's as easy as braking on the way into the turn to make the back lively. This shifts weight onto the front of the car, increasing grip, and reducing weight on the rear wheels. That's what I like to see. Now, I would like to see more, please.
Yards. Turn sharp left. Turn sharp left. In 200 yards, turn left. Turn left. In 200 yards, turn sharp right. Turn sharp right.
Very nice. Very nice. I like the back end work particularly.
In 400 yards, turn left. Turn left.
You make it look really easy. Liven up the...
Well, there you guys have chapter 3 in this big ass boat, you know, Dodge Challenger. I hope you guys enjoyed this shitty drift. Let's move on to the next chapter.
There's a nice spot on the way up to Edinburgh the Drift Club's been eyeing up. I think you've earned the right to have first crack and show off a little, what you reckon? I've thrown on new high grip front tyres, tuned the throttle response in the computer and lowered it on firm... Well, if you get to show off, and so do I.
Are we doing GTA or...
I've put in a route down to the old rail yard. I think you'll see what I'm getting at. That machine is capable of more, and so are you. just a cheeky little detour down the side. Well, off you go, eh? No rush, do Drift Club proud. Well, you certainly can't do that with engineering alone. Would it be more of a challenge if I made you wear washing up gloves? Chuffed Joel persuaded you to front up our little band. I think it's just the thing we needed. If we really want to be taken seriously, we need a bit of a personality to lead the way. A nice one. Anyway, no more said about that.
There you guys have chapter 4 in the Honda S2000. I'm sorry you guys can't hear my voice. I am talking in the party, but I didn't have my mic hooked up at the time, so I didn't capture it during the video.
Also, why you censor the press? You just sound like you're like upset. You're just like. What? What?
Onwards and upwards, eh? We'll take a longer drift drive this time.
My skin
Drift
first,
Club has
sorry.
the skills and technical challenges involved in covering that sort of distance. 98 Sylvia K, 2.6 litre, inline 6, and the full Rocket Bunny boss kit. I might have got a little carried away here, but I was sure you wouldn't mind. Remember when I talked about too much power? This is too much power. You really shouldn't need to floor it. Watch the rear. It's slippy. If it comes out, you're using too much power.
In 400 yards, turn right. Turn right.
Yo, are you you on GTA yet, or you said? Oh, I thought it was
Technically, but now let's see some passion. Come on.
In 400 yards, turn left. Turn left.
Friction is what everyone wants to see. Not actual friction, of course, because that's an invisible force. There's a way to see an invisible force. What you can see, however, is clouds of smoke from tyres starting to burn at 121.11 degrees Celsius or 250 degrees Fahrenheit for those who prefer imperial measurements, of course. Take note. There's more where this came from.
In 400 yards, turn left. Turn left.
What did you make of that? If we get them used to long drives, we can have drift clubbers laying down rubber in
Well, there you guys have
every
chapter
corner
5 of the
UK.
Nissan Silvia K. Let's move on to this next chapter.
Too much money, too much body, no ID, block my car.
Ever try uphill? It's quite a skill. I'll admit I'm useless at it, but you're going to show Drift Club it can be done. And I've found just the spot for it. And just the car. Borrowed this from J-Min at the festival. Nice young fella, if a little excitable. Practically flung the keys at me when I said I'd be handing it over to you. Here we go. A nice technical drive on mixed road surfaces. I do love the technical ones. Not bad. But do I need to explain again about power to weight ratios? Balance is key. Steer and counter steer. Enough throttle to push the power slide, enough brake to hold your grip. You know, I really should be writing these bits of wisdom down somewhere. Uphill, you're fighting traction loss, burning power, and still relying on momentum to carry you through. Though I'm sure you're taking all this into account already. Outstanding! Now let's really shred those tires.
Hey guys, don't forget to check out my latest Forza Horizon 4 video. It is another event mode, but it is the world's fastest rentals. I will put a link at the end of this video, and there's a short clip at the top right corner.
Very technically proficient. Well done. Now, some people claim that you have to use rear-wheel drive cars to drift. That is simply not true. Some of the greatest proponents of functional oversteering, or drifting if you prefer, come from stage rally. And some of them predate Mr. Takahashi.
There you guys have it. That's chapter 6 in the Ford Focus.
Some also claim that Japanese or American cars are the only options for functional oversteer. This is also not true. Here at Drift Club, we find drift machines in all sorts of odd places. Sweden, for instance. This is the Volvo 242 Turbo Evolution, featuring a few little adjustments of my own. I think you'll find it more than adequate. Course is late though, you're welcome to have a little fun on the way. Rubber's warm, let's keep going, shall we? again? Whatever you just did. Just my point. People think drifting is simply losing control of the vehicle, when in fact you are delicately balancing traction loss with grip. It's a
Well, there you guys have
carefully
chapter 7 in the Volvo
lost
242
control
Turbo
is what I'm
Evolution.
saying.
Let's go on to the next chapter.
Joel tells me drift clubs popping up all over the continent. Berlin, Paris, Amsterdam. I didn't start those ones. Did you start those ones? Should I send them the newsletter? In any case, meet the classic 1969 Mustang Boss. An incredible machine. And that was before they let yours truly under the hood. These long country drives are perfect for spreading drift club far and wide. So if you can make your way to Broadway for me, please.
Yeah, I'm still
You know, it all began with Kunimitsu Takahashi.
Are you there?
He invented drifting because he was winning all his races and he wanted a bit of a challenge. That's what I like to see. Now, I would like to see more, please. There you have it. Drifting is about entertainment, not just engineering. Some members of our club are a little too fixated on the technical details of drifting, if you ask me. Easy now, coming up on my favourite sequence, the technical bit, with lots of tight turns.
In 400 yards, turn left.
Very nice. Very nice. I like the back end work particularly.
In 400 yards, turn right.
The spirit of Mr. Takahashi is alive and well in Horizon Drift Club. While the spirit of Robert Glenn is more than happy endlessly fiddling with his engine and suspension. Thank you very much.
Well, there you guys have chapter 8 in the Ford Boss Mustang. Let's move on to the next chapter.
You seem to enjoy your trip through Edinburgh, so we should try that again. Traffic is always light in the morning, so you should have the roads practically to yourself. And I'd like to send you in this 3rd gen RX-7 sequential twin turbochargers on a front engine rear wheel configuration. It's rather good, if you like that sort of thing. You should know the way, though of course you're welcome to use the sat-nav. Sorry, I'm not sure why I said that. Traffic is generally light in the mornings, but I've had a friend on the council close down the roads for us, so it really won't be an issue. Sorry, no, I'm not sure why I said that either. I suspect that machine is capable of more, and so are you. Can't do that with engineering alone. There you go. Edinburgh Drift. if I might be allowed.
Or Rustin. It's right next time now. Hello!
So you guys have chapter 9 and a 3rd gen RX-7. Let's move on to the next chapter.
I think we did. Everyone is talking about Drift Club. It's been on the radio, and I've been hearing the clubs cropping up all over the place. To celebrate it, though, I've got something really spectacular. We are standing in the presence of the Shelby Cobra 427. In my opinion, as close to heaven as you'll ever drive. This one belongs to Miss Dawson, who is something of a petrol head, if I may be so bold, and a real connoisseur of British automobiles. And you will be driving it up to the Horizon Festival and into the Drift Circle in the middle of the festival. I must say, I'm quite jealous. Technically, but now let's see some passion. Come on. Fabulous! Drift clubbers, take note. There's more where this came from. Almost there. Keep it together now, Robert. There it is, the Drift Circle, and the whole world watching. I can barely breathe. Flippin' heck, this has really been quite the journey, hasn't it? And may I add that it has been a personal honour to see you in action. So, after discussion with the other members of the club, we'd like to extend you personal membership for life, mind, of Drift Club.
Well, that wraps it up at chapter 10. That is all 10 chapters of this story mode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.